sounded like you almost fell out of your chair, Carl.
I can't believe hands back together. We're back. Woo! What's up, folks?
Not too much.
Man, well, welcome everyone. Valiant TLDR. It's been a while. We are a show brought to you by one hardcore, long-time Valiant fan, Southern Comic Geek, myself, who is part of the OG era, which is about to change pretty soon because we're about to transition, which we'll talk about in the show later. And then our fresh pair of eyes, Mr. Stingray himself, Newell. What's up, guys?
Just chilling, waiting to talk about some Valiant.
Lots of Valiant to talk about. We got Mr. Tom in the building, and then who's Derek? Not a number.
That's the professor.
Professor! What's up, Derek?
He's saying not a number because, YouTube added all those numbers on there.
Oh, good idea. I didn't catch that. So how was everyone's Thanksgiving? I thought maybe we should do a quick catch up. And what's happened since we last streamed together? It's been a minute.
I don't even remember the last time we did this.
When was the last time we did this?
I think it was like 2 months ago.
Oh my God.
It was before Baltimore, it seems. Yeah.
Yeah. And it was the less than satisfying review of Archer and Armstrong on your part. Newell didn't really love it. Yeah, Tom, it's mostly my fault, to be honest. I've been on the road and probably traveling a little too much, so I actually canceled a trip today because I just couldn't do it anymore. It just seems like way too much. It's been crazy.
Carl travels all over the world instead of talking about Valiant with the homies. It's terrible.
Yeah, I know. I mean, maybe I just gotta bring my gear along and like do the streams live somewhere. But I haven't owned a laptop for maybe like 5-6 years because I just use my iPad now. But the iPad has very limited functions, so that's a problem as well. And then, what else? How about you, Southern Comic Geek? And what's happened since we last saw each other?
Well, I keep getting art packages in. I actually got some today, and so waiting to show some of that off. And just living life, and I'm entering the busy season at work for the next few weeks. So, is
that all Valiant art?
Yes, the Valiant art separated.
Oh my God, that's serious. So we got a hefty show and tell today. How about you, Noel? You have a new announcement. Well, new-ish. You've been kind of running some channel now. How's that been?
Yeah. I've got my own YouTube thing and trying to make that work. And, if you want to see some art, I do a lot of art unboxings on my channel. And then most recently, I did a video on how I frame art. And I get to show everybody how to frame their art up. And so you can hang it on the wall and make it look cool.
If there was one video for anyone to check in on your channel on, what's the standout one that you feel like has been the most popular?
Mm-hmm. Well, I mean, the two most viewed ones I have, or the very first one I did, I think was just because of it was new, and then the framing one is actually the second most viewed by quite a bit. So,
yeah, you put a lot of effort into that video, and it's quite interesting. Even though I don't do my own framing. But I could see where it could be, part of the whole collecting process.
Right. Absolutely. And I talk a little bit about my philosophy on that in the video before I get into things. And then I go through, all of the tools and materials that you need. And then we actually go through the process of putting a piece of art into a frame. So, I mean, it's a part of the process for me that is kind of fun. And, it's continuing the part of like expressing yourself through the framing and how you do it, whether you want to do mats, if you want to do colors, the type of frame that you get and all that stuff before you put it up on the wall. So I think it's fun. And even if you go to a framer, it's still, I think, an interesting video because maybe you've always gone to a framer because you thought you couldn't do it, but it's actually pretty easy. If I can do it, anybody can do it,
How about when you guys remove stuff from frames? I actually have literally in my storage room a stack of 7 or 8 frames that I took stuff out of, and it's just sitting there. And one day I was hoping to reuse them, but I don't know if I'll ever use them. I mean, it's kind of a thing,
So I actually, I won a piece from an auction over the summer that came in a frame, and I didn't really like it very much. And it was in there, and when I got it out, like the frame kind of started to come apart a little bit, so I just kind of ended up throwing it away because.
So toss it, basically.
Yeah, well, for that one especially, yeah. So now I want to reframe that one at some point, but in a frame that I like. So the frame that it came in was seen kind of cheap and it looked old to me. So
yeah. So yeah, I don't know what to do. I'm also out of space on the walls, and so it doesn't really help because it's definitely not happening. But yeah, Ghost Machine has been a thing as of late. High Street. Is High Street like their new title? I never heard of it before.
High Street is the horror one that they do. It's like an anthology book.
Yeah, Ivan Reyes does that one.
Yep. He's the main guy. They had a couple of fill-ins, but yeah. It's kind of like a Tales from the Crypt kind of thing where they have like a horror host type and then they do a different type of story.
So it's basically an anthology.
Yeah.
That's fun.
Yeah, that one's good. And then I'm really digging Geiger and Redcoat. Redcoat is awesome.
I wasn't on the Redcoat bandwagon. Like early on, I was kind of like, but then as it kept going on, I was like, yeah, okay, I'm really liking this one.
It's a lot of fun. And Brian Hitch is the main artist on that one. And it's really impressive.
And it's a shared universe, right? Like everyone is kind of interconnected.
Yep. And what I like about it is that it's not super like all the time with the crossovers and everything, but like, so like Geiger is set around, I think 2050 or something like that. And so Redcoat is still around because he's an immortal. And so they've met like once or twice in that timeline. But in the Redcoat book, it's mostly set in the past, like because he's been around since the late 1800s, I think. And so, they kind of show different periods from his lifetime. And then they like meet in the middle. Well, not in the middle, but in the future. So I like that aspect of it.
Yeah, you're really not bound with Redcoat because they keep bouncing back and forth in his past, and so you can get those 2 or 3 issues. And I like any story that kind of goes with some history, kind of weaves history in a little bit to tell a fictional tale.
Yep.
I feel like speaking of history, one publisher that did that very well was Valiant. I felt like, especially diving into our title today, Eternal Warrior, there's plenty of history in how they kind of set that whole thing up.
Nice segue.
Same thing. Yeah.
So that's what we're going into today, guys. I mean, it's great because we all met in the art world. But one of the things that Valiant has always been known for has been the stories. In fact, I think when Jim Shooter, which we'll talk a little bit more about later as well, started Valiant, he had a commitment to say, Valiant's always going to be about the stories first. Obviously, I think in their first year or so, their art wasn't very well known. And then when they decided to celebrate their 1 or 2 year anniversary, they brought in all these kick-ass artists to level up, and then that's kind of when I think they really got on the map. And for those of you guys who are just tuning in for the first time, we are getting into Eternal Warrior today. We've gone through, if you go to our library, Shadow Man, Exo Man of War. We've had interviews with folks like Bob Layton, Janet Jackson, or JJ Jackson. We've been through. Not the other one, not the booby one. Harbinger, we went pretty hardcore, 3 episodes.
Of all the things she's done, that's the one thing that Carl hones in on, right?
That's the most notable. In the Super Bowl, dude. She's one of the few that's
Jackson and Psylocke.
Yes,
right?
Yes. Exactly. The booby force. Ryan the Future Force. We had Sean on this. Ninjak we went through. Oh my gosh, the journey's been crazy. We had Bart Sears. We went through Turok. And then we did Archer Armstrong, and today we're here at Eternal Warrior. So I guess, Jason, maybe you give the viewers a little bit of a context for where Eternal Warrior fit in, and then we could bring it up and let's.
He's like the Redcoat of the Valiant Universe, right?
That's interesting.
Yeah. So
I saw Innocent's comment in the chat. I thought I'd flip it a little bit.
Yeah, definitely much like that. So, basically where we start out, we'll see a little bit of his origin story. But for VH1, they really never delved into why he was that way or why his brothers were that way. One of the reoccurring themes throughout the Eternal Warrior, story, whether in his title or in others, was, here's a guy who's been around a long time, basically serving the Earth as voiced by the Geomancer. And, that's like his lifelong mission. And so if you remember the Highlander series from back in the day, he would meet somebody and then he'd have all these flashbacks that would tie back into the current story. And you really get those kind of vibes throughout the Eternal Warrior issues because him calling back to things he remembered and things he knew. Even one story, he was at the cross when Jesus was crucified. So we won't get into that story today, but
that one.
Is that later? I don't remember it.
Yeah. And so, you remember there was a story about the Judas coins. So
yeah, I do remember that.
And so they're imbued with dark energy, and so that's basically Eternal Warrior.
Great Master dark energy.
Yeah.
Oh wow.
EARQUE energy.
Right.
Yes.
Yeah.
There we go. Eric said Highlander, Eternal Warrior, Red Coat. Lots of similarities.
Oh, yeah.
Yep.
Okay, so I mean, let me talk about this first. Frank Miller did this cover. I remember when this was on the stands, it was a standout because I was like, "Wow, what is this?" And Frank Miller at this point, I think it's kind of still on his high. And so when he did this kind of 8 connecting cover for the Valiant Universe, I think it was a good move. Let me see, Unity, Frank Miller covers. Let me pull it up and see if I could. Images. So he did 8 covers, right? Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Of course, it's someone selling them.
Mm-hmm.
That pops up. So good.
Yeah, Tom talking about the Highlander TV series. I have a Highlander replica sword over there on my mantle, so I fully get it, Tom. That I've had for a number of years.
I have a hard time getting into the TV show. I always prefer the movies. I liked what's his name? I can't think of his name now. Adrian Paul was the guy in the show, right?
Right. Yeah, he still does like Highlander classes. Like you can go and he gives you a sword and they do like all these moves and stuff. It's kind of the thing that he does these days instead of.
I didn't know that, but that's awesome. We should do that as a group. Yeah, Christopher
That
Lambert.
I was thinking the same thing. We should do it OAX, Highlander classes.
Oh my God, what do you mean? Call Casper quick.
So out of these 8 covers, which one is you guys' favorite? I have one standout for me.
Well, we know which one you like.
Yeah.
How do you know which one I like?
I like the Shadow Man one a lot, honestly.
I'm sad I missed that one on auctions. It was early on in my collecting career, and I just wasn't ready to go that hard for a cover. And in hindsight, it wasn't that hard. But now I regret it. But that's a nice one, too. That's my second, probably. Number 1 is Armstrong, not surprisingly.
Yeah. Like I said, we know.
Actually, my number 2 is Eternal Warrior, and then number 3 is Shadow Man. But if you look at it,
well, you can have Armstrong or Eternal Warrior, and I'll go for Shadow Man.
Yeah, you do that.
I think they're all.
I'll go for those 2 for sure. Like if I get these 2, I'd be really happy. Happy camper.
Yeah.
So that they say that the Harbinger cover is the first appearance of Marv from Sin City.
Huh? Where? Right here?
Yeah,
I mean, it does look a little bit like Marv.
Yeah.
Why did they say that? Did he ever talk about it at all?
I don't know if he ever admitted to that, but just because of the similarities in the character and him kind of randomly right there. So,
yeah. I think, the right cover is on Calf. I did reach out to that guy at some point, and he said, "No way, Jose."
Yeah, I bet.
Bring your kilts to OAX, of course.
Don't tempt me with a good time, Derek.
We really should. Highland class MTG mixer.
Yeah,
How about
Highlander-
we do
Highlander
Highlander class, then we play MTG while we're still in our kilts.
Well, yeah. So we do a Highlander class in the morning, start the day off right, and then we can do magic and drinking at night.
Yeah, and hopefully
After
no one
wrestling.
drop their cards and have to go under the tables and be horrified at what they see. So it looks like Jewish Dragons is with you, Newell. He also wants the Shadow Man cover, so you guys better coordinate when it comes back on auction so you don't fuck it up. Yeah, Tom mentioned this too. It was really hard to find a lot of issues because no one ordered them. Or they didn't order as much.
Well, because they were still kind of, a new thing at this point. Jim Shooter in that podcast we'll mention later, alluded to this, as have others, was Unity was kind of the thing that kind of, skyrocketed, Valiant and got it to where it was actually making money. And that's where he was promptly booted. So
Are these on different boards? Yeah.
I would assume so, since, they're all owned by different people. I mean, I've seen the Rye one, and I think I've seen the Shadow Man one. I don't know that I've seen any of the others.
No, I mean, the only Rye I've seen, Shadow Man I saw in Heritage, and that's it. All right, so shall we?
Yeah.
We should.
Boom. Page 1. I mean, Newell, your fresh eyes. Was this jarring for you? Was this what you were expecting, like a whole David and Goliath opening?
Not really. I had no idea that we were going to start with him as a kid, him and Armstrong. I certainly wasn't expecting like caveman type era. I didn't know that they were that old.
Yeah, I like that because it really starts at before history. So it was almost like before documentation happened, because this is how far back.
Taking these pictures.
Yeah, and look at this. Here's a paw of a freaking lion or whatever.
Yeah.
Well, just like his fist, it's got the little spikes on it.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
It's the primitive version of it.
The other thing he likes is he likes his left arm wrapped up with something. It's like almost like a shield. I thought character design was cool because we'll see later on that he kind of evolves through history. Start of action packed, primitive. Who was the artist on this? I forgot.
John Dixon.
John Dixon. Okay.
Yeah. So when we talked to Bob, he mentioned John Dixon as being more of a cartoonist, but I think for like comic strips and stuff. But when they got him over there, he was just so fast, and he good at meeting deadlines. So he worked really well into the mix there.
And he did a ton of early Valiant books, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then that left panel there on the previous page where the knee breaking and all that, the face punch at the bottom there, that trademark Valiant violence that we love so much.
I love that. It's so cool.
The bloody claw, yeah, that's a cool page.
Very John Wick right here.
Well, and if you're starting off a new company, you're starting off a new character, right? You're starting them off where people go from the first page, all right, well, I'm digging it. So it's a good way to start off. What's up, Mike?
Yo, 6 Layers. What's up? I saw you, Jason, was on their channel with Kazra and Matt. Was it? How was that? How did that come about?
I'm not sure who reached out to who, but Mike covers a lot of that kind of stuff, and so really mainly talking up OEX and our experiences with that and what they've got in store. Yeah,
Mike's a great energy, great channel. Definitely check them out, guys, and subscribe. So back to Eternal Warrior. Oh wow, you're right. He's really young, so he comes back to the camp. He looks almost like a killer here, but he comes back to camp and he's like a boy still.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's crazy. And then here comes another character. Hey, father, want to fight like Gilad?
Yeah, I think that's Aram.
Aram, here we go. And who is Aram, guys? He is Armstrong, so young Armstrong, and he's known for his strengths.
Yeah.
So notice they haven't mentioned the third brother, Ivar. Spoiler alert, the Time Walker.
He didn't show up at all in this.
Yeah, he won't show up until issue 8, where it's the flip book with Archer and Armstrong 8.
Oh, see, and I stopped at 7, I think.
Yeah, that's where they introduce him at.
Wait, is that the Three Musketeers story?
Yep.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. What I like about Jim Shooter's writing on this is, I think this because, early history, I almost feel like he took like Bible stories and like,
a little bit, yeah,
these characters into them. And the two brothers, one of them is like the very ambitious, wanting to go and like conquer worlds. The other one, he has strength, but he just really wants to chill, And so I love the building of this foundation here, because when you look at how they were introduced to us earlier in the Valiant Universe, they're very different people, but you kind of also see the seeds of who they become here.
Yeah, I think this part where or it's very soon, if it's not this part, where they start talking about how Gilad wants to go and like conquer other neighboring groups of people to get, because their tribe is growing more and they need the resources to keep if they're going to keep expanding and all of that. And Arm's like, oh man, I'm not about that life. I want to just go hang out.
Yeah.
I don't want to be violent. Like I can be, but I don't want to be.
He's a lover, not a fighter, even though he has the strength.
Right.
Which is cool later, because you see kind of his motivation, like you mentioned, is like all his wives, and then just want to breed. I get it.
Who was his wife in the Archer and Armstrong book? It was like the goddess, but which one?
Yeah,
I can't think of
her name. Yeah. Well, and
Aphrodite was it? Aphrodite.
I didn't think so, but I can't remember now.
The interesting thing is how, if you think about like, and the Highlander series did this too, but how like years and years of like seeing all your friends grow up and die, and all the war, like how does that play into trauma in your mind, right? And so how the two brothers deal with that over the course of time is interesting, because obviously the Eternal Warrior is in Magnus times, because he's part of the Future Force.
Oh yeah.
But when Magnus or the Geomancer find him in that, he's already forgotten. Like he's like got amnesia, because like all his thoughts have gotten so jumbled in his head. Armstrong does a similar thing where he basically drinks himself into a stupor. Just to kind of, and you kind of wonder if it's kind of that thing of like I'm just going to kind of try to forget about all that stuff that's going on, all the things I've seen and had to deal with.
Yep. Yeah. No, that's what I love about the characters. Like they have some deep kind of characteristics that are very grounded. They're not just here to fight villains or whatever else. They have some life stuff that they're dealing with.
Yeah, I just looked it up. Armstrong's wife was Andromeda.
Andromeda. Yeah, the blonde chick. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So speaking of Geomancers, I mean, this is our first look at a couple of them. I think there's is Elder? This is Elder, or is it Geomancer? Or is it Dad? This is Dad, right?
Yeah.
No, yeah. Well, the guy comes and meets him at midnight. Is where, he's like, hey, and he talks about how the earth is calling out to you and you're the chosen one.
Yeah, I thought it was interesting how they get him started with the Geomancers, like in the way in the past, like, so kind of establishing that they've been around for a long time.
Yeah, and we meet of course everybody knows Geoff, but of course Buck, which is I think his uncle, and then later on the blind Geomancer in VH1, but he's just time and time again Earth raised up a Geomancer, but he uses the Eternal Warrior to be his defender, or her defender, depending on the way you look at it. But
so speaking of going through time, we kind of jump into the southern eastern Mesopotamia 10 days later, actually. Just 10 days later.
Yeah.
They're about to invade a group now.
Yep. And this is part of what I was talking about. Like, Gilad's like, yeah, let's go beat these guys up and take their stuff because we need it. And I think if you turn the page, Arm is like, you know what? I'm done. I can't do this anymore.
Yeah. The full-on war zone here. And then basically a lot of the counterattacks you see, the soldiers came out of the wall and started killing their family, killing their people. And then they're getting overwhelmed completely. And then by morning time, everyone's dead, but Eternal Warriors is standing. And then Aram is just bashing this guy's head in. And it looks like it's because this guy killed one of Aram's wife. I remember this. This is kind of a touching moment. I felt like he was always a sensitive one, where it's like he wanted to make sure that he really killed that soldier. And yeah, this is where they kind of split ways. I was like, I'm not doing that anymore. Swagger Haas in the building. What's up, brother?
Yeah, he was dropping some great art the other day.
Oh yeah,
on his channel. Yeah.
Speaking about wars, he got the Warcraft key art. I mean, that guy's got some heat when it comes to video game art, specifically Warcraft. Cornering the market, swag. All right. So as they split, obviously Geomancer's here to greet Gilad. I mean, there's a Gilad in comic art fans too, right? Who just loves this stuff.
Yeah, that's John. Yeah, he's a big Eternal Warrior fan.
So we jump a little bit more into the future. Where are we now?
I think Egypt.
Egypt, yeah.
But then the brothers run into each other again. And Aram's got a bunch of wives again.
Reoccurring thing.
Yeah.
What's cool is I liked how Shooter also acknowledged here, telling him whispering to Gilad, saying, "Hey, let's speak in our own tongue because the Pharaoh's so obsessed with eternal life that they might eat our hearts." I thought that was kind of cool as a historical reference.
Casually chatting in ancient Sumerian or something. And then we fast forward all the way to 1992.
Yeah, and almost like a scene of Terminator when he shows up naked, except he didn't time travel in that way, and all these biker gang guys are confronting him, and he's just kicking their ass for fun.
Yeah, and they kind of get right into the whole thing, like setting him up with the old British guy that he works for, and the daughter, who's like kind of a love interest.
Yeah, I mean, she sees him naked.
Well, and so I think later on a story is how he's introduced to Neville in World War II. I think it's two.
Okay.
But he runs the British spy ops that Ninjak will later work for. And as far as his daughter actually becomes, in VH1, becomes Bloodshot's love interest. Has Bloodshot's children. Weird.
Oh, interesting. This daughter here.
Yeah.
Oh, interesting. That's kind of cool. Wait, she's not the one that gets her hair, like her hair has powers? Like, is that someone else?
She turns white like Bloodshot.
Okay.
Towards the end of the series, and then the kids are born, and then they're not. It's weird.
Well, quick observation.
Yeah,
kind of what we talked about earlier. So Gilad, his costume evolves with him through history. So now during his time, he has this thing on his arm, and then he's doing
really the left arm there is the inspiration for the Winter Soldier. Marvel Winter Soldier. I'm still joking.
Yeah, I will not be surprised.
Right, I'm making fun of Carl because he thinks everybody stole everything from Valiant.
They did. They totally stole it. Yeah, Matt DiTullio, you are actually the Eternal Warrior. So here's the modern version, which is kind of like a biker look, which is kind of cool.
But and talking about Gilad's butt scenes, which there are a couple of them in this issue, There's one in Bloodshot Zero, and I don't know if y'all saw this, but Kevin Van Hook has been sharing some stuff. I guess he's cleaning out somewhere. And he talked about how that right there cost him a sale to, I think it was Toys R Us, because they would not put that comic Bloodshot Zero in the comic packs because of the butt scene. And he's like, if I realized that, I would not have done that. What's that?
The butt was more objectionable than all the blood and the gore? Like, that doesn't... So. Oh, my God.
There's no rationale to it,
This is the 90s. There's no rationale. I mean, there wasn't data. It just happened. Whoever happens to be involved, I think, in the buying decisions, just they like butts, I guess. Extra sensitive. I see that.
Man ass is unacceptable, but blood and guts is fine.
Right.
So issue 1, he's getting set up in this kind of secret agent organization. You're seeing that there's some interactions there, and
right. He's in a hotel room, and then they get ambushed.
Yes, ambushed.
And then, as he's about to defend the lady, fucking Unity happens.
I love this. Like, this is the best kind of magical electrical wave type stuff that Barry Windsor Smith, I think, created. That it's basically a pattern and brand for the Unity.
Well, it's just Solar, right? That's his power.
Yeah.
Does Solar always look like this? His stuff like this? Okay, then Solar it is.
Yeah.
And then Unity over here.
I was so mad when I got to this part.
Why?
Because I saw Unity on the cover, but it's number 1. I'm like, great, Unity, right in the first issue. And then it's not Unity, and you get this whole story going through. Yeah, see, Derek gets it. But you get this whole story setting up the Eternal Warrior and explaining who he is and his past a bit, everything. And so I forgot that Unity was in this issue. And then I get to that next to last page, that third from last page or whatever. They're getting attacked in the hotel. I'm like, oh no, what's going to happen? And zoop, 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 Unity. And I'm like, God damn it.
Yep, lots of hunting in this comic. I thought we weren't going to talk about wardrobe malfunction.
Well, and how many times throughout Unity, because they were just building it as they went, right? And then they go, oh, no, we got to go back and do this, that they were cutting and pasting these stories together. I wonder, they go, wait a minute, Eternal Warrior is going to come out at the same time. We got to piece this into the deal. How do we do that? We'll just reuse these other pages from the other story. That's why Barry Windsor Smith's art's in here.
Yeah. Just pops in right to Unity Zero cover, and then what's this created by Janet Jackson and Jim Shooter? So Eternal Warrior is created by Janet Jackson and Jim Shooter.
Yeah. So if you remember, JJ, when we interviewed her, she mentioned that she created the Eternal Warrior logo, and of the some of the mythos behind it, and obviously Jim was involved in that too. Well, and if you remember, too, listening to that Jim Shooter podcast that we'll talk about later, he mentioned some of the reasons why there's more credits for everybody was to keep them from getting fired.
Yes.
So.
All right. So that closes out.
Gilad and Aram meet up in the wherever Unity is. What do they call that place, Jason? The Lost Land or something like that?
Lost World, Lost Land.
Yeah.
Walt Simonson cover.
Yeah. Speaking of covers, this is pretty G. Walt Simonson.
Yeah, that's pretty cool.
I mean, they had 2 heavy hitters. Let's see if we can find the Walt Simonson one.
Bone
Wait a
Ranger.
What's Carl looking up here?
There you go.
All over the internet.
Don't look at that. Don't pay attention.
For anybody who doesn't know, that's why he's Triple X Carl.
Yeah. All right, here it is. Hopefully it loads. I don't know what it is. Oh, there we go. Multiversity Comics. What the heck? Got tricked. It was like their banner. Here it is. Never mind.
Yeah, they get rid of all the ads.
Yeah, too many ads. I think it's super slow. Let's go to this one. This one's fine. Read it. Okay, got tricked to that again. Oh, here, Simonson's the next one. Boom, here you go. Boom, look at that. That thing's. This was better, I thought, than Frank Miller. I remember as a kid, I was like, "Oh, dude, this is awesome." I didn't like the Archer and Armstrong one as much, but I remember loving the Shadow Man and the Rye covers.
Yeah, of course, the Rye issue 7 right there is where Rye dies in first Valiant comic I bought, and a lot of that's played out in the Solar issue next to it. Yeah, I mean, it's great covers, and Walt keeps a lot of his stuff. I haven't never seen these covers in person. I wonder if he still has them or not.
Could be.
Would the Rye cover be a grail for you? Considered?
Ooh. I don't know that I like the cover that much. I mean, if I got the page, of course, it more than likely is just the stat of the page I do own. But yeah, I wouldn't mind the Joe St. Pierre art inside of it more, probably.
Yeah, actually, the Magnus and Harbinger are pretty nice too.
Yeah,
that's a nice.
Magnus one is pretty cool.
Yeah,
I need to get some Magnus art with the Emperor though, the robot Emperor.
Oh yeah, that was dope. That was cool. All right, let's dive into it. Issue 2.
Yeah, fucking Unity.
Here we go. Dive right in. Unity action. And artist John Dixon again. I mean, it's funny. Like, I don't know if the colors change. The colors did change, but it looks very different. The color really does impact what the art looks like.
Well, I mean, and that was one of the things that I really noticed going through a lot of these Valiant titles is like the creative teams changed a lot from issue to issue. Like it might be you have from one issue to the next, you might have 2 of the same 3 people working on it, but like the colors might change. And then the next issue, you keep the colorist and the writer, but the penciler changes. And then the next issue, the writer changes, but the other 2 are the same. You know what I mean? There's a lot of just swapping out and in and just, like who I think they were just trying to get the books out, and I mean, they did a relatively good job of keeping the art consistent on the books, but there were a lot of names as you go through the book, each one,
Yeah, and it is a different colorist, and you're right, Carl. That's one of the things about early Valiant in particular is the watercolors that they used to pull that stuff off. It gave a much brighter look than this particular issue has.
Yeah. Well, and I recognize the name Mark Cesar, but I don't remember which other books he worked on. But I know he's definitely did some of the other ones we read.
Mm-hmm.
So what's interesting here is Eternal Warrior meets Eternal Warrior. The past meets the future.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's very against Back to the Future's time theory, right? You can't see your yeah. Right. Yeah.
Yeah. If they touch, the universe explodes. NSN art. I'm not a big fan of the Unity event, and I think part of that is just the way that I've been reading it because I've been reading individual Valiant titles, and so as I go along, the story kind of gets interrupted by Unity, and I think the first book I read was Shadow Man, and that didn't get into Unity until like issue 7 or 8, and he just gets sucked into it. He's like part 7 and part 14 of Unity, and it's not real consistent, and it's hard to follow the Unity story that way. So for me, Unity is kind of like an interruption of the flow of the individual stories, and it's like this one. If you were only reading Eternal Warrior, we start off with issue 1 with that story of this guy through different ages and who keeps running into his brother, and then it ends with them meeting, for Unity, and now we have this whole issue. Like, who's all these other characters? Who's the blonde kid? Who's Armstrong? They look different, and who's Solar? Who is Exo Manowar and all this stuff. If you like this, the top left panel there, you got Exo, you got Rye, you got the kids from Harbinger. Like, there's a lot going on that we just, if you've only read these 2 issues of Eternal Warrior, you have no idea what's going on. So
It's a party.
Derek, I haven't read Chaos Effect yet, so I imagine it's going to be the same. It would be the same way.
So lots of disunity in the Unity books.
That's what I was responding to. Yeah. I mean, it's an interesting. Is there like a collected edition just of Unity?
Yeah.
Okay. It might be interesting to go back and read those Unity books in the proper order, right? Just to see to get a better idea of the actual Unity story.
It would be helpful, and then I think but at the end of the day, you still see a lot of repetitive storytelling from different perspectives.
Oh, interesting. Derek says there was a slipcase version.
Oh, interesting.
Huh.
You can really see Dixon's comic strip experience in a lot of these panels with a deep focus. Really nice stuff. Yeah, I mean, I really love it.
These are really good.
Yeah. Well, it makes sense. You would be good at meeting deadlines, right? Doing comic strips, and you got to constantly be pounding those things out.
Right. Nice.
All right, so we're diving in. I mean, you're now seeing the double perspective from Eternal Warriors.
I did think it was kind of fun that they brought in two versions of Gilad.
I thought so. That's pretty fun.
Because the other one is like the version from like the Rye timeline, the way in the future, right?
Right. Yeah, the one with the light blue.
Yeah. Which one? The blue one? No, the other blue one.
And Geoff is basically taking them two on a separate adventure, right? It's because he has on a different mission. I forgot.
Right. Well, so that goes back to like, him and the Geomancer are hanging out. So like it's a different Geomancer, but the same, And then they're dealing with like what's her nuts from Harbinger having the baby.
Oh yeah.
Which again, like if you hadn't read Harbinger, you have no idea what that's about.
Yeah.
But we've read Harbinger. So he's going to give birth to Magnus. Spoiler.
Spoiler. Yeah, Chris is about to pop. So,
like a Thanksgiving turkey. Oh, what are you doing?
Grabbing a protein bar. I'm starving. Sorry, got a little distracted there. Complex. So what? Geoff sneaked up by himself. All right.
Secret mission with the other Gilad.
Scroll back, Carl, to the last group of pages.
This one before this.
Yeah, there you go. So you see that top panel? That's the cover right there, right?
Oh yeah.
Yes, top right panel, right?
Yeah. So again, something that a lot of comics used to do, which was to give you kind of a sneak peek of a splash that was going to take place in there. It's also kind of a cheap way to already have things laid out in your mind. You don't have to reimagine something altogether. But in Valiant's early days, it's a way to reuse stuff because they didn't have no money.
Yeah. I mean, I do love the cybernetic dinosaurs. Those are always one of the best parts of Unity to me.
Yeah, it reminds me of Dino Riders. Y'all remember?
Yeah,
Dino?
Absolutely. I loved that show as a kid.
You think about Dino Riders, like we talk about, like how can you fail at something? You got dinosaurs and robots. Like what else does sell back then? But
it's like Beast Wars. I love Beast Wars. And the Dinobots.
Transformers. Yeah. Well, yeah, the Dinobots were great. Who doesn't love Grimlock?
Right.
Yeah. Grimlock's
Exactly.
Well, one of the best things I thought was kind of Sean mentioned this as well, is they had like free for all to draw as many robots and dinosaur types as they want. So, you probably never seen this dinosaur again in anywhere else, because I'm guessing John Dixon just decided to, create it for this moment.
Yeah.
Ad hoc headquarters of the Resistance. So Star Warsy. And then, Preggers are here, hang out. Talked about this earlier. What happened? Floating Eternal Warriors. Like, we fell short again. He's like all beat up, floating. Peter's floating him, right? Healing him or something?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah, that would be a good one. Jewish dragons.
Oh, and then they realized, where the heck is Geoff? I guess they lost him. He just took off.
You knew
Well,
I
that's
left
kind of, there's a little Geoff here, just kind of sneaking away.
Yeah.
That's pretty funny.
He was doing the very cartoonish, like tiptoe, you know.
Yeah.
Nobody
Yeah, where is he off to? Where is Geoff off to now?
Getting captured by robots. Well, he's spying on Mother God's son at the like
Albert.
weird, the weird strip club that he goes to, right, where he goes and finds victims.
He's like the ultra scumbag.
Yeah, he likes to cut up whores.
Mm-hmm. Geoff gets caught by these robots. They went to go look for him, I guess.
He's got 2 Eternal Warriors coming to rescue him. They're like a weird 80s tag team wrestling duo.
Crossover with How to Train Your Dragon. So How to Train Your Dragon got their inspiration here.
Oh my god. Here we go.
See? All the great ideas came from Valiant, dude. They dropped off.
They needed you as a publicist, Carl.
No.
They'd be top of the mountain if you had been their publicist.
Lost in history instead. So they're lost.
So, here we got the Eternal Warrior gets scratched. The old one gets scratched and it appears on the new one. So it's kind of a reoccurring time theme, throughout various genres. But
that's cool. The scar.
And then Jeff talking to Mother God about her favorite record.
Right.
Oh, yeah, there you go. Valiant sent another friend.
It is. How'd you know, Derek? See? I believe it because it came from Professor.
Oh, and this part was weird. Like I know that there's the whole thing with the geomancers and they talk to the earth and everything, but like her favorite record starts talking to him, and I just this whole scene was a little bit weird to me.
Yeah, so he's trying to talk her through her trauma, and so that's
He doesn't like that.
Yeah, he's not very good as a therapist, obviously.
And then that bottom right panel there, she's like, "I'll kill you for that."
So then he starts kind of meddling when he starts talking about, well, your son doesn't like you, and then anymore what you did to him, what your dad did to you. So basically saying that you're just as bad as your dad, which typically happens in abuse situations, right?
Yeah.
So she's about to fire him.
It's almost like it's kind of cool because as much as he has access to information, they also wrote Geoff as a bit of naive, kind of coming from a naive place. Yeah. But he was a straight shooter, and then she just couldn't take it. She obviously took offense to it, and yeah, this is definitely therapy fail for sure. Therapy fail 101. Don't try.
Yeah, you don't want to hack off the person that has cosmic godlike powers, and just as a rule of thumb, I would think so.
Right.
I'm just surprised you didn't kill him faster. It'd be like, shut up, and just blew his head off like right away.
But isn't that like a classic hero stratagem, right? You purposely piss them off so that they get distracted and you kick their ass.
True.
Well, that's typical if you have powers, whereas Geoff does not. So.
Oh, man, you can talk to records. That's a power.
Right. Well, and maybe the wall told him that he was fixed to get rescued by the Eternal Warriors or something.
There you go. If these walls could talk, right?
Sure. And they can to geomancers.
Yeah.
They jump in, and so how are they taking on Mother God? I mean, she is.
If you had read the rest of Unity, you'd know that, Carl.
I've read it, but I don't remember how they're able to take her out. Well, I guess they don't because she like fries his hand.
Yeah. I don't know. I don't remember.
They don't really take her on, I guess. Here's some
and
boobies. Here's some boobies.
Yeah.
You see that?
got to have a little.
Moving on.
Boobies. But you know the thing with her, and she mentions this. I forget which chapter of Unity it is, but she mentions like most of the people, like okay, they're nothing to me. And then she mentions some of the characters as just like an annoyance to her, and then she mentions the ones like, and of course it's just kind of laying the groundwork for, hey, these people can take me out, right? Solar obviously being one of those, and that's why they locked him up early on.
I was going to say that's why they imprisoned him, because they knew.
Yeah, that was Shadow Man's fault.
Hey, look, additional inking, Kevin Van Hook.
Mm-hmm. Dang, everyone did everything. They really had like a bullpen.
Yep.
Yeah, additional coloring, Carol, that's his ex-wife.
Mm-hmm.
And Jade Modi.
Oh yeah, we got also Compton in the building. What's up, Compton? He's a new friend I made on Cap.
Oh
yes.
He has a cool, very modern collection. He consistently reads modern books, and Compton, maybe you should dive into Valiant with us. And
as long as you don't start running up the prices to Valiant art, you know.
Yes,
right.
Some of us do a good job of that already.
That too. I know, Jason, running stuff up.
Wait a minute, hold on.
Wait, is Jason the one that put a bunch of stuff up on for auction instead of just like making some backroom deals? That was me. I honestly, in hindsight, I probably should have done the backroom deals because it's a lot of my friends who won everything anyways. So I could just, saved everyone 30% on both ends.
But I guess in Carl's, because I've kind of done this before too, in Carl's defense, like you think, hey, Heritage is going to be this much more, right? And if I sell it to this guy I know, he's going to want a friend discount, right?
Right.
And you always think that it's going to be that much more. Because I remember, Carl, you and I talking about this page that I haven't told a lot of people that I was able to win, but at Baltimore, right? And Heritage told you, hey, this should bring X number, which was exponentially higher than what it did. So.
Exponentially. A few reasons. I think their data gets a little skewed when things are like hyped up. So what happens is then everyone else takes whatever data they have and said, "Oh, I'll throw it in." But then because now volume hits the market, then it hits it kind of spreads out the capital, and it actually hurts. What was the hot thing, right? Because they all hit the market so hard. But it's okay. I think for me it was I talked about this before. It's more about thinning out the collection versus trying to make a profit and whatnot. And honestly, my time is valuable in that way. So I either make my time doing all that, or I focus on my work. So it kind of worked out better. But issue 3, this is interesting. Kind of brother on brother.
Yeah.
It's like a brawl, actually. What's going on here? I totally forgot.
And if you've ever had a brother, like like this is legitimate, right? Because
yes,
you just want to.
So he gets a Solar drop back into the hotel room that was about to get shot up at the end of issue 1. So it's almost like Unity didn't happen. It's almost like we could have just skipped it.
Yeah.
But
I think that was a marketing move. Unity, I think, was definitely a marketing move, right? It was a way to get people's attention.
I know. I'm just being really,
But yeah, the other thing though, there were consequential things that happened as a result of Unity. Obviously, Unity was a way to books that were new. They were still using Solar and Magnus being a known commodity from the Gold Key days as a way to get them into everything else that they were building. But there was actually consequential things there. Rye died as a result of that. We learned how Magnus ties into the now Valiant Universe as opposed to just the Gold Key Magnus that people knew. So unlike a lot of the crossovers we have these days, like nothing happens. At the end of the thing, it's just like, okay, everything goes back to normal.
That's true.
Yeah.
and so it did really kind of set things up with Ryan the Future Force and all that kind of stuff too after it. But
yeah, can I vent a little bit about crossovers? I'm kind of over crossovers, at least in the context of marketing movies. Sounds like the is it Giant Generator or who's the guys who are doing the crossover Red Coat?
Ghost Machines, right?
Ghost Machine. So Ghost Machine, it seems like they're doing it right. It seems like they're doing it kind of Valiant style where things are crossover for a reason. But like, for example, I don't like this whole like X-Men of Apocalypse because it literally is like such a gimmick where every issue, and I told Matt DiTullio this too, where dude, and also Wolvie fan, I was telling both of them like, dude, like this thing is so like gimmicky. It's basically taking Avengers Endgame and putting X-Men as the Avenger, X-Men Apocalypse as Avengers, and then every issue visiting a different team of X-Men. And I'm like, dude, it's so predictable, so gimmicky. I'm so over it.
yeah,
Well, I mean, like I don't think like with the Ghost Machine stuff, it's not like a crossover. Like it's not where it's all one big event, right? It's just that it's kind of a shared universe, and so far, you know, a couple of the characters have appeared in each other's books. But like to your point, you know, it feels more organic and story driven. You know what I mean? They're not just there all the time just because, like, hey, look who's in this issue. You know,
No.
like with the what's the one character, Junkyard Joe. You know, he's a robot that was created to go fight in Vietnam, and in the future where Geiger is, he's still around because you know he's a robot. He doesn't have a human lifespan. And so he shows up. He's shown up like twice, I think, now in the Geiger book. So
they're interconnected through time as well. So similar to Valiant.
Definitely.
well, and you know,
So Valiant also inspired Ghost Machine.
oh boy.
The universe.
Well, so I will say that, you know, with Ghost Machine too, it reminds me of Valiant in the sense that it's very story driven, or I feel like it's story driven. But that's because Jeff Johns is writing most of it, and he's a great writer.
He's writing Geiger, Redcoat. I think he's writing Height Street, which is the horror one, and he's also writing Rook Exodus, which is a sci-fi book they do that is not part of the shared universe. It's its own thing.
So, I mean, I feel like that's the reason why, you know, that you know, I'm digging it is because it's story driven, and it happens to have some great art too. So
I'm glad.
Yes.
I'm glad.
Yep.
Thompson agrees. X-Men is all over the place right now. Yeah, I don't know who's running the X-Men office, but it's not working.
I feel like X-Men have always been all over the place, but
yeah, maybe in recent time, maybe that's why no one really reads it anymore. Judas Dragon said, "Real friends don't take too big of a friend discount." You know, honestly, if I had more time, I'd rather give friend discounts than to send it to auction. I think it's a time thing. It's like I didn't have, because you kind of have to like remember who wanted what, and I have like the worst memory ever unless I write it down. And so, you know, I think going forward though, if I do slowly let stuff go, you know, with less urgency, I guess, to just kind of clean stuff up, I would definitely offer the friends first, because I'd rather just, you know, put it in the right home, to be honest. Love the animal angle.
on Rook.
All right, dive into issue 3. We are back to the modern day. Okay.
now Kevin Van Hook is helping Jim write it.
Or Jim would say he just gave him credit.
Well, Kevin Van Hook got credit for this issue. Let's put it that way.
Yes, he did. All right, but this is very action-packed. But back to action-packed.
Yeah. So he teleports back into the hotel from the end of issue 1, and he's got to go find the redhead.
So the redhead was hiding, right? Basically.
Right. Yeah, well, she left the hotel, so he had to go find her because she was getting attacked.
So funny how like she has her luggage with her. Like, dang, like lots of outfits.
More mana.
So, like, what does this mean? Like, she just likes to watch him shower, watch him sleep, or was there something that happened?
It even says that like she undressed him and put his clothes, washed his clothes for him, and all this stuff. Like they have a very very good working relationship.
And the secret agent guy. He looks like a secret agent guy, you know?
I can't remember what his name is. Isn't that something generic like Nigel?
Yes.
Something
Yeah,
like
no.
Yeah.
And then what's this? This is like a girlfriend of his?
I think so. Some lady in Greece. I don't remember exactly.
Yeah, I don't know what's going on. I mean, that's a great way to greet each other, like making out hard.
Right. I mean, he's been gone in Unity for how long?
Yeah.
Like,
Well, not very long because he
Not
came
very
back
long, 2 minutes, right? Yeah.
after he left.
but I mean, Chris was that they were there long enough to have the baby.
From his perspective, you mean? Yeah.
Yeah, and so in his time, in his body,
Sure.
he's been there a long time, without a woman. So.
Oh yeah. Because I know that in some of the other books they mark like what day it is in Unity, and they get up into like the 400s or something.
Right.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, you're right. This is the part where she finds some like ancient Roman helmet. He's like, "Oh, this was mine when I was a young man,"
Yeah, and in this way, he's kind of like Highlander too, because if you remember the series, like he would get things and he would kind of just start hoarding them. Didn't he even have a store, I think, of like antiques?
Yeah, something like that. Yeah.
So this whole issue, it's just another run-in with the brother.
Yep. Well, it seems like Armstrong comes looking for him.
Yeah, it's mad. She punches him.
Oh yeah, he tells them they have some unfinished business.
Yeah.
Now that we save the world, we're going to take it out. Come to
yeah, because he got him caught up in Unity when he didn't want to. He didn't want to go fight, but Gilad kind of got him sucked into it. So what do you do when you piss off the pacifist? You get punched.
Oh, this is a full-on fight scene there, huh? Just taking on each other head on.
That one panel, it's great because they even like make it kind of stand out because of the way the wine bottle is breaking the panel border. He's trying to save that bottle of wine.
Yeah, it's pretty comedic actually. It's kind of fun.
Well, and that's kind of what Armstrong is good for, right?
Mm-hmm.
He's the drunken comedy relief. There we go.
Such a dirty fighter. Just straight spits on his face. Super dirty.
Well, you think like Gilead is taking out all this. He's not holding back, right? Because he knows, hey, my brother's gonna heal just like me.
Yeah, he could take it.
Right.
Well, this fight scene goes for pages. Look at this.
Well, look at the one where they're coming through the door there into the fountain, and then Armstrong's picking up the cart there.
Yeah, that I have the colors to that page right there where they
do that. Nice. I don't know how this works here though. Look, he shoulders him, but then it looks like he's flying into the right after. It didn't quite work for me, but sure. Dang, he's going at it.
And then I love how it ends with like Armstrong gets knocked into the back of the van, and the lady comes and picks up Gilad in a limo, and it's like, all right, let's go. And you see Armstrong giving him the thumbs up, like, I'll see you next time. All right, cool. Yeah.
You ruined my bar.
Well, you notice that she winks at him, so he knows her. So it's kind of like a setup type deal. Yeah, so I don't know if that was to kind of make him feel better behind his back or what. But.
Yeah.
Interesting how he asked her, did you have anything to do with my brother being here, Astria? Brother? What brother?
Right, yeah. So she had set it up. But Mad Spidey is in the chat all the way from Australia, the land down under.
Mad Spidey, what's up, man? Welcome.
he'll get to learn about some Valiant. He's a Marvel guy, so
Nice. So you'll find out how Spider-Man was inspired by Marvel Comics.
Wait,
Right,
what?
Valiant Comics.
Yeah.
This is awesome. This is my favorite cover, Eternal Warrior #1. This has always stood out to me, and I thought it was because I think as soon as I opened the page, I was like, "Great Wall of China, that's fucking awesome." Because up till now, you don't see much of the East, right? And so
Yeah.
it's cool.
Carl, who's the artist on this one?
This guy, Yeltsin Guchet.
No, I'm talking about the cover.
Oh, it's Dennis Cowan.
Yeah, you do.
Oh, wow.
Well, I thought it was cool, consistent wise. Look, he has his swords, he has the little spikes on his hand, but then even as a samurai or a Chinese imperial soldier, I think, whatever he's dressed as, he has this kind of consistent arm thing.
Mm-hmm. It is kind of interesting how that's a consistent visual theme for him.
Right?
Well, and so there is a prelim. You remember how that Rye in the Future Force that Barry Windsor Smith drew out for Sean?
Yep.
There exists one for this.
Oh, wow. Really? What?
And so the guy was going to sell it, but he wanted quite a bit more than what I was willing to part with for him. But yeah, so it has the same look and everything as what Dennis would end up doing for this. So I'm assuming that's what it was there for after Sean showed the one that he did for him.
So what's significant about this first page for me is I have this Valiant OG, Valiant by OG, Valiant artist sketchbook, and then Yell, is that how you say it? Yell. I don't know. However you pronounce his name.
I assumed it was like Evel or something like
Evel.
that.
Oh, Evel. I gotta say Evel. He did a DPS for me of this scene, like the Great Wall with Warrior fighting on it. It's pretty cool.
You have
cool.
You have a Shadow Man cover by him too, don't you?
I do have a Shadow Man cover by him. I do. All right. So now you're seeing Eternal Warrior fighting in the Far East, in Great Wall, China. Lots of lore surrounding the Great Wall. I highly recommend everyone visit it because I went once, and just to climb up one part, small part of the wall, it takes roughly 4 hours. Like 3 hours to go up, about an hour to get it come back down, because the steps are actually they're all different. So it goes sometimes up to your chest, sometimes it's at knee height, but it was designed to exhaust soldiers because you can't climb stairs like that easily. Yeah. And so it's pretty exhausting.
Elevators?
Now they do, but back then when I went back in 07, 08, yeah, there's no elevators, and so we climbed up, and when we got to the top, it started getting dark, and it was like winter, and so we were racing to come back down because they were going to close the gate on us. And literally, when we got to the bottom, the security guard had his parked right next to the gate and was waiting for us because they're like, dude, like these kids, what the hell are you doing up there? And then we made it back down to get out. But yeah, this is cool. It's a whole kind of lore surrounding. I don't know if they talk about it. I don't remember. But the Great Wall, they said, as much as people give credit to China building the Great Wall to keep the Mongolians out, for one reason or another, the kind of exterior of the wall actually faces China. So after more research, right? And so they always have a question as to if they were trying to keep people in, or was it, built by someone else trying to keep China out?
Yeah.
Gosh, I don't remember this issue, except there's something here because this guy has the green and red eye.
Well, and then he stabbed himself.
Yeah.
Well, this one I don't remember, honestly.
You talking about the Eternal Enemy?
Yeah, who's the green and red eye guy? I forgot.
Oh, is that him?
Yeah, it's right here. Look, he stabbed himself. And he said, "There should be another time."
Oh, okay. I didn't.
Yeah, he faces him several times throughout.
Yeah.
The deal.
Yeah.
Or the immortal enemy.
Yeah. I forgot that was this issue. Yeah, that was. Yeah, so he shows up again like in the 90s here, right? He's like a South American drug lord or something, and Gilad goes to fight him. And it's like he's eternal, but he's not immortal in the same way. He keeps getting reborn, and then like at a certain age that pops and he remembers who he is, and then he just goes on down the path of evil, right? And then Gilad can like sense him in some way. And whenever he senses that he's been reborn, he goes and finds him wherever he is in the world and kills him again, so he doesn't have to deal with him until the next time he shows up.
Right.
Yeah.
So when VEI, they kind of rewrote that deal, but there's this constant back and forth between them, with him always going after the Geomancer, and so Gilad never can keep him from killing the Geomancer, and then that's how the Geomancer inevitably ends up getting changed out.
That's pretty cool, actually. That's a cool.
That makes a little bit more sense. Yeah,
it does. Yeah.
Well, and
There's
so
more
they have the first big crossover thing is called The Valiant.
Mm-hmm.
And so it was a great. Paulo Rivera did the pencils on it. I think Matt Kent wrote it. It's a great story, so I'll be glad when we get to that and y'all can read that.
Yeah, I that sounds a bit more interesting than just. I mean, the way that they kind of laid him out in this issue, like he just gets reborn and is evil, and he doesn't really seem to have any like specific motivation. He just goes and does bad things, and Gilad has to get him. So going after the Geomancer gives him a little bit more. I guess it seems like more of a motivation, and it makes him more connected to Gilad, who is the defender of the Geomancer, right?
Yeah.
So, I'm pretty excited to dive into that, because I think there's been hints throughout about VEI, and then sometimes I talk to Dinesh about it. He is super excited for me to dive in, because he knows what a fan I am of the old stuff, and so I'm curious to see how that was all brought together. Wrath of Eternal Warrior. So this scene here is like very 90s. It's very Tom Cruise. It's almost like Tom Cruise could be Eternal Warrior.
Sylvester Stallone.
Yeah.
They got it from Eternal Warrior, right?
They did. I think Tom Cruise saw this scene. He read this book and he said, "I'm gonna put in the Mission Impossible."
Yep, that's clearly what happened.
Why can't people just do their own original stuff or give credit where credit's due?
Right.
Yeah.
There's Colombian drug lord. I'm guessing there's the same guy reincarnated.
Yeah, that's the Chinese guy that stabbed himself.
Got it. And there's the part there's the inspiration for Jurassic Park, the part one where they crashed the helicopter into the trees.
Dinosaurs there.
Yep. So he's chained up.
Right.
Who's this guy again?
I think that's the.
Is that the guy?
It's either the guy or it's a guy that works for the guy. I don't remember.
Okay. Boom, boom. He shot him. No, I won't tell you. Well, this is very cool. Like, so this guy has his glove. Is that Gilad's glove? He took it. Got it.
Yeah, he just swiped it.
Well, because he's very like antagonizing to Gilad, right? Because they're like, they've been enemies for hundreds or thousands of years or whatever. You keep killing me, man.
Yeah, I love that. It's cool. It's cool. A great antagonist for sure. That can bother you through time and travel through time differently. Fun.
And then that's a cool page. And then just Bloodshot randomly shows up.
Yeah, he goes in the hotel room thinking he'd find his redhead lady friend, but instead
gun and face.
Yeah, you're in big trouble.
So this is technically the first cameo of Bloodshot.
Right.
This was released a few weeks prior to Rise Zero, which was Bloodshot's first full appearance.
Yeah.
But then, coming back the next issue, as we know, not full appearance, but
so this is a Hulk 180 is what you're saying.
It is a whole Hulk 180 thing.
Yeah, 180 kind of thing. All right, so this is it carries right into the next issue where
and I think when I read Bloodshot, I read it as a trade paperback. I got it digital, but it was in a trade paperback. And this issue was like the first one that was in it, I think.
Oh, really? Interesting. They introduced him through this issue.
Yeah.
Well, it makes more sense because, like in Rise Zero, Geoff, rescues him, and that's about it, right? And then we saw what was in the last one, basically the first one. Where
It might have been Rise Zero in this, and then this, but I know that this was very early on in the collection.
Yeah, so
I feel like we need the professor to come on sometime and talk about cameo versus not full appearances and why that's evaluated differently. Because I do feel like, even Hulk 180, that's obviously the first appearance, but 181 is the first cover, right? So I think, does this mean this is the first cover appearance? I mean, it's a whole thing, man, when it comes to collecting.
Well, cover appearance is different from a first appearance. Sometimes they're the same, sometimes they're not.
Yeah, sure.
But almost always the second appearance has the better cover to it.
Okay.
Yes. Yeah.
And so, I mean, if you think about ASM, what's the first appearance of Venom? It's not 300. It's really 299, huh?
299 was the first technical.
Or 298, maybe it's 298. But so it's got that whole vibe at the end where he shows like part of the deal.
Yeah.
Over street price. That's true. I mean, the first series of Marvel cards that shows Wolverine has his first appearance on the back as being Incredible Hulk 180.
Really? And that's where I learned a lot of the first appearances when I was a kid was from the trading cards.
Yep.
I just assumed that those were correct,
Right? I mean, they're putting them out. So this particular issue right here, the colors for this, which are very vibrant blue, were on eBay. And John, you mentioned the
Gilad
off of Calf beat me out for it, so he owns it. I guess it's in a good.
Good home. I mean, does he come out much? I've never met him before. I've only seen his Calf.
No, he sends me Christmas cards every year. I guess because I sold him that first appearance of Eternal Warrior page.
Nice.
But he just moved. I talked to him about coming on the show. He's up for it. He might be moved in now. If we get to that point, we want to do some more interviews.
So he should be our next interview, since we just we're doing this right now. Eternal Warrior, kind of cool.
But this is another action-packed issue.
Yeah, actually, there's a lot of action in Eternal Warriors. It's almost like a action hero kind of character with a lot of history tied in. So
it's almost like he's a warrior.
Yeah, a warrior. Yeah, Highlander style.
Yeah. Well, this one's like medieval play type stuff and witchery and burning it.
Look at this. Even the opening, it's a different font. It says, "The year of our Lord, 1497, the height of the Spanish."
Oh, that's right. It's Inquisition. What a show.
Yeah.
So you remember that Armstrong is always chased by this religious group for being a devil.
Yeah. The sect.
Yeah. The sect.
Yeah.
Yep.
So this is kind of a reoccurring theme here with for the same reason.
Yeah. All right, here's Bloodshot. It brings us right back. I like the flashback of history and then sets the context, and then it brings you right back to modern day. And then he just snatches his gun. I thought Bloodshot was much faster than that. That's kind of weak that I told you. Oh, that's good. And they're having a conversation.
So the colors for that page right there is on eBay right now. I think it
on
actually
the left
is.
or right?
On the left or the right. Okay.
So the same guy that had the colors for the cover he sells like one page a week.
Okay.
And I guess he's just thinning out stuff as he goes. But
is this Sonic Dan? Or someone else?
No, it's a guy out of Florida.
Got it.
Right? If only Vin Diesel stole this for the Bloodshot movie,
Seriously.
I still haven't watched that. I need to.
We can review that too. I
just don't go into it. Just don't go into it saying this is comparing it to like a Marvel or DC movie. Just think of it as an action movie and just kind of from that lens. and I don't
Yeah.
think it'll disappoint you. So
Look, I watch movies like that from the Mystery Science Theater perspective. Like if it's bad enough that it makes me laugh, then we're okay.
all right.
That's funny.
Deep cut there.
There you go. Super action. He's kicking ass. Oh, this is exactly where this bridge scene is what inspired Deadpool. Deadpool 1. Yeah, he jumps off. Dude, I'm telling you, dude. Like everyone reads Valiant. A lot more than you think, guys.
No, it's just the three of us and nobody else.
Yeah. And only people who makes movies and comic books read it.
Yeah, apparently.
So they can steal from it.
So here's another chick that he knows and is comfortable enough to make out with, and then it's like, okay, bye. I'll see you in a few
He's a
years.
lover boy. He's a lover boy.
Well, but they also have like a whole little conversation between these two pages where she talks about how he hasn't seen her. She hasn't seen him in like a couple of years or whatever. And he kind of has the thought bubbles, right? Where he's like, I can't get too attached because she's just going to get old and die.
Sure.
That's sad.
Now that page I mentioned being on eBay, it ended today at 9:30, so a couple hours ago at $50. Missed out.
Wow, $50 sounds like a great deal, huh?
Not too bad.
Yeah, I mean, I tried to reach out to him and it's like, hey, do you just want to sell me a bunch of your stuff at one time versus doing this piecemeal
right.
eBay?
No response.
No, well, you know, if you do it through eBay, you got to say it in a certain way to not encourage off eBay sales because they will get you to that. And so I said, like, hey, are you on the Valiant board? Yeah, years ago it was. Yeah, okay. I'm trying to drop.
Are you on?
Years ago. Oh, this is totally a classic warehouse scene. Straight up.
Yeah. Every action movie ever stole from this issue.
Yeah. This one straight inspired John Wick. Remember in the car area and they drive through and then.
Well, I heard that Eternal Warrior had a dog that got killed once.
Oh yeah, Keanu would play a good Eternal Warrior actually.
But he already has an Eternal Warrior character.
That's true. John Wick is kind of Eternal Warrior. Oh yeah,
no, not John Wick.
Berserker is Eternal Warrior. That's hilarious.
So if you turn go back to the last page, and if you who writes Berserker?
Well, it depends. The main book was Matt Kent, who is an Eternal Warrior.
Who worked at
Valiant.
Well,
so I mean, yeah. But they've had other people. Like there was a Jason Aaron one shot. It's one of those things where they're trying to make it a bigger, thing, and
So, tip for you, Jason: make a JPEG of your email address to get around eBay. I got caught. I tried to do that, and I think they recently they caught on to it.
World got busted.
Yeah.
So you notice the scene where he blocks the bullets. It's a whole Deadpool thing, right? With the sword.
Yeah.
With the sword.
Totally.
Yeah, but they stole that from Wonder Woman, and she just did it with her bracelets. Tang.
Yeah, Deadpool definitely took from Bloodshot for sure.
Don't tell Rob Liefeld that. He'd be like, "What are you talking about, Carl?"
Later Deadpool, not his Deadpool. His Deadpool, yeah.
His Deadpool didn't do anything.
Yeah, he takes credit for that, but it was not Rob Liefeld that made Deadpool what everybody knows him by today.
No, that was Joe Kelly and Ed McGuinness.
Yeah, I think it does take a few generations for a character to evolve and become whole, and I think having different writers contribute, it's a good thing.
Yeah.
Unless you're X-Men, then it's going down the drain.
Oh, yeah. This is an interesting issue.
Woo! This is one of my favorite covers of all time. I remember seeing this and
look what he's wearing, Carl.
It looks so naughty,
It really does. And look what he's wearing.
Oh, he's wearing the glove, like Michael Jackson style.
Well, he's also wearing a BWS tattoo on his arm there. Look at that.
Yep. Oh yeah, that's true. This is one of my favorite covers by BWS of all time. This one.
Tell the Nash to let it go.
Well, he knows. He knows. I'm on the list, I guess.
Well, you know, the prelim for this, which is almost verbatim the cover, just went up like last year on.
I remember
on Heritage. Because I contacted them because they were listing it as the cover, and I was like, "This is not the cover. I can give you the link." I gave him the link to his calf gallery to show him that the cover's already got.
Yeah, I remember it was a
I
pretty.
really like the background on this.
The background's awesome. Just the composition's awesome.
Yeah,
just man, he this is like the perfect Master Dark look. Sick.
Well, and it's tying Master Dark all together with everything else, right? So he was issued. His original appearance or first appearance was in Shadow Man, and so now here's the connection to the Eternal Warrior.
Nice. So menacing. This cover's. I could stare at this cover forever. It's freaking so good.
Carl, you see Innocent Art's last comment there?
Yeah. Let's keep moving. Oh yeah, face tattoos before Post Malone. Yeah,
Post Malone.
It's true.
Yeah.
Posty, if you're watching this, just know your origin.
This one was interesting because it goes in a whole different direction than what we've seen so far, right? Like it's been a lot of like action movie stuff.
Yeah.
And this one goes back in time to somewhere like in Africa or something.
Cool.
But it starts off, it's all like a dream sequence, and it was really interesting. You've got the Bogdan eye or whatever, the knife, and then he's getting into a fight with the people with the animal heads, and
cool.
Yeah, really cool opening sequence. And then the whole thing with like the purple boxes there, I dream that I'm falling, but not through the sky or the space, but through time. And that's something that they kind of repeat over the next couple of issues.
Did Barry write this issue too? Or he just drew it?
Yeah, he wrote it
by him.
He's such a good writer, such a great artist. Very
So
he does like the next few issues, yeah.
Yeah, and so I mean, just a different pacing. He wants to tell a different story. Yeah.
He's always so poetic, and yeah. Look at this. Are we back in New Orleans now? Yeah, New Orleans, Mardi Gras, 1993.
Yeah, the Gilad left Jeff alone in a hotel room while he goes out and takes care of some stuff. And Master Dark is plotting.
Yeah, I think about it. Like we see guys like Master Dark today with like tattoo heads, but back then it was very, very unique and very menacing.
Yeah. And so then I think this guy here, isn't this Jeff's uncle, the other Geomancer? Yeah.
Yes, it is.
Yeah, Buck. Yeah, he there's a story I think in the next one where they talk about how they met and all that kind of stuff.
Mm-hmm.
It's just sad. Uncle Buck's dead.
Well, I like the panel with the skull in the eye. Top right there.
Oh, wow. That's cool. Yeah, man. Barry's always very provocative too. Even like panels like this. I always dang, it's crazy. So dark, so evil.
So Master Dark.
Yeah, so dark, DARQUE.
Dark A.
Yeah. Of course, Eternal Warrior got to show some chest, very 90s.
Mm-hmm.
Well, and check out the right top panel where he busts in, the Eternal Warrior cursing, in the age of the Comics Code Authority, which I know Valiant wasn't a part of. But
oh yeah, still, son of a bitch! You pull a gun on a kid.
Still kind of risque, back then.
Mm-hmm. Wow, look at this, like voodoo style. It's crazy.
Now imagine Barry Windsor doing Shadow Man. That'd have been cool.
Oh, that would have been awesome.
What might have been?
Derek said rare mark, dark.
Rare mark, dark. Yeah.
It's a tongue twister there.
Sounds like a candy bar.
Mm-hmm. Man, and he's just torturing with voodoo, man. Look at this. What a jerk.
Yeah. Well, he's trying to get to Jeff, I think, right? He knows that they're together. That page there is wild.
Oh wow, this would be a great piece of OA. Wow.
Mm-hmm.
And you notice they close out with the "I dream that I'm falling, but not through sky or space, but through time again."
So good. Yeah, and it's very the way Barry kind of does this panel is almost like a face-off, right? It's like he's in this New Orleans world dreaming, and then he pulls a bike. It's so cinematic. He's like pulling on the bike, cuts into him, and then the clowns are dancing, and then it cuts to this very dark ritual area. Damn.
Yeah, I wonder if he still has this page, because you remember I told you, Carl, when I got that Solar page from them,
Yeah,
that they said that the Eternal Warrior pages he's got left are not going to be available because they were doing planning to do a, what you call it, big giant book.
An artist edition?
Yeah, they were planning on doing an artist edition.
really? That's awesome, man! What a freaking beautiful page. This is so good. So good.
It's a good thing you're not wearing pants right now, Carl. You'd have to change them.
I know, dude. Seriously, look at this. This is my second favorite cover. So the dark one's the normal one. I actually lost this to Dinesh on Heritage because, again, early on, I was not ready to pay what this was, but in hindsight, it wasn't a lot. So this is cool too.
Oh, you know the answer. You always there's always more money. Go big or go home.
I didn't realize that until years later. Yeah.
That's what he tells everybody else, right?
That's wisdom that I share with you guys, so you don't have to have the problem of saving more money than
Right.
having less art. So
Right. Like somebody told me the other day, I was like, yeah, I can't buy any more art for the rest of the year. I've already gone over, I've spent too much. And they're like, oh, you're art poor. I'm like, no. I'm rich with art. I'm wealthy with art. It's money that's the problem.
I'm cash poor. That's right.
Yeah, exactly.
yeah, that's great too. This I think one of the best covers for Eternal Warrior because he looks super heroic. He looks super focused. I could tell he put a lot of time into this. This is like the best image of Eternal Warrior.
Well, it's kind of like a counterpoint to the Master Dark one from the previous issue.
Perfect next to each other. It's great.
Yeah.
Alrighty. Arizona now, 1889. Interesting.
Oh yeah. This is early Buck.
Mm-hmm.
Like they're about to hang him. I love that. Like the Old West cowboy style.
So it kind of alludes to the geomancers, if they play their cards right, actually living longer. Because Buck is, a kid in 1889, but in 1990, when was that?
1993.
Yeah. So he's still alive, old man, but nevertheless alive. But
Right. So he's got to be at least 100, 110, 15 years old, right?
yeah.
And he looked like, it could just be artistic, or the way it looks in the art. But he didn't look like he was much older than like in his 50s or 60s, right?
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah, there's another one with Barry and man, it's so good. The cowboy.
Yeah, that title page with the guys hanging from the tree and then the clown in the background, like that's a cool page.
Sinister. Sick.
And I like the way that he did the layering. You've got the feet of the guy hanging in the foreground, and then the guy in the middle ground, the whole body, and then the one in the further back. That's cool.
Yeah.
So yeah, and then of course with the space and time, they're tying the two things together, right? With the past versus the present, where they got the people hanging, and it also John Floyd and Barry Windsor Smith did the inking job. John Floyd would do, going to do Ruin and some other stuff that Barry Windsor Smith done. So he was one of his preferred inkers.
And then we got a great page of clown violence, which I don't think there's enough of.
Right?
Yeah, that's crazy. Like your master said you might come. Master said you might come. I've got to entertain you till he's back. So I thought of this. Watch closely, because this is the sort of thing you can only do once. Here we go.
Stephen King read it.
It's like that's the same reaction I'd have.
Oh my god. That's hilarious. There you go.
And then that panel there with just the stump, like, oh my gosh.
It's crazy.
Yeah,
And then Gilad in that bottom panel is like, oh, fucking clown blood.
Yeah.
Not again.
Right. This kind of thing that happens to you multiple times across centuries.
Way too often.
Here's Dark going to the hotel, checking in, I guess. You suspect a problem, Mr. Dofer? Only that person you wish to have a drink with is a young boy about 16 years old. So just what the hell is going on here, pal? Oh, my God.
Yeah.
Wow. Ouch. What a way to die. That's a horrible way to die. Oh, there's Buck. Ooh, did he he scalped them? Oh, I don't think I've caught this back in the day. That's
disgusting. Something about how he had to get into his brain to get all his secrets or whatever.
Ooh, it's rough.
Master Dark had to actually physically touch the brain.
Rough. Yeah, that's brutal.
Yeah.
Jove not safe. Of course, he shows up. Got a half-naked boy, almost naked boy that he's walking in on. That's why the hotel guy is like, what the hell is this? What are you doing here? You sicko.
I mean, to be fair, Master Dark looks like a pervert.
Yeah, he does. Yeah, trench coat.
Well, and he has a weird relationship with his sister, too. So.
Oh, yeah. It's a thing. Incest, right? Isn't it incest kind of thing?
I don't think, well, at least I don't think they ever did anything directly with it, but it's very, like, hinted at.
Right.
Like, he'd be down if she was down.
Wow, how did he show up where he was that fast? He went
magic. I don't know. What? Voodoo. There's the clown with no head.
Yeah.
You gotta fight him again.
Wait, is he fighting him? Oh yeah, it's a zombie. Yeah.
He's gonna punch him in the face.
Yeah, Master Dark like brought them all back, man. Dark magic. He's like a necromancer and stuff. And so this whole thing is because he wants to get the knife from the geomancer that Gilad was dreaming about in the previous issue. The Bog Nadai or whatever. The Boggy Knock, something like that. So like the knife is used to like finish evil spirits or something, and he wants to get it so that he can have control over it. And then like here they end up breaking the knife, which is it. So like I think Buck gets his spirits locked in it too. So this is going to free him, but at the same time, it's freeing all these dark spirits that go out into the world now. Kind of like a Pandora's box type situation.
Yep.
That's cool. Wow.
Yeah.
And you can really get some, if you think about Rune and, his deal there, you kind of get that with that top panel right there with the wings and stuff.
What company was Rune through? Who published that? I haven't read any of that.
Pretty good, actually. I liked it.
Does Barry write that too, or is it just his art?
I'm almost positive he wrote it too. John Floyd inks. And so it went on for several issues. And then Kyle Hotz.
Okay.
Yeah, he did a series with Rune. I think his art style kind of fit for that character too. So.
Oh, sure. I love Kyle Hotz's art. Yeah, he's awesome.
Oh yeah, Ultraverse imprint. It was under Malibu, but it's Ultraverse.
Yeah.
So of course Marvel owns it now.
I vaguely remember that stuff from back in the day.
Is this the same guy with the goat head from earlier in the comic or a couple issues ago?
Yeah, remember he killed him. He killed him with the knife at the first.
Yeah, that's pretty cool. That's cool.
Yeah, so all these guys are now free. So I don't know, like Jason, do you know, did they ever come back to this in the story later on? No. Okay.
Well, Master Dark sucks it all. He's like, "Teach me your horse, fill my black heart."
Yeah,
he loves that.
That page is really cool too.
The right side.
Yeah.
It was on eBay or like comic whatever.
Well, really? that page was stolen.
Oh,
and
stolen?
So it was on My Comic Shop.
Yes.
.com, and it was on that. And a guy made a post. I'm trying to remember where he made it on. Did he make it on CAF or he made it somewhere saying, "Hey, if anybody sees this page, let me know because it was stolen. It should not be." And then shortly thereafter, my comic shop took it down, and he's since posted on CAF that he's gotten it back.
Oh, good.
Hey,
it's a cool page though.
Yeah,
yeah, and I love the falling through. I mean, I dream I'm falling through. They repeat that again one last time.
Yeah,
I thought that was really effective. So, like these two issues, I really, really like a lot, and Barry Windsor was a big, part of that, I think. But I just thought that the change in the story, the kind of more supernatural element, I don't know. I enjoyed that a little bit more.
Yeah, Barry really knows how to tell a good story in very little time. Just in these two issues, he made it work for sure.
Yeah.
Have either of y'all read his Monster trade paperback?
No.
I tried a few times, but I just feel like it's one sitting. You got to do it in one sitting, and I haven't been able to do that.
Is that the more recent one that came out like a year or two ago?
I think, or 3. Yeah. Uh-huh.
Yeah. I have that. Yeah. I have that one.
Yeah, it was pretty intense.
Yeah, I have it. It's right here. Let's see.
I think it's in the other room. It used to be in this bookcase, but it's in a different one now.
But yeah, it was a story that he wanted Marvel to publish, and they wouldn't do it. And
that one.
Yeah, that one.
It was a Hulk story. He said, right?
Well, you kind of get Weapon X vibes with it.
Okay.
Yeah, because of them, the government, doing what they did to the kid.
Yeah.
I got this is on my list. I got get back into reading it.
Well, because of what like Derek said, it's kind of intense read. I couldn't read it in one sitting. Like, so I felt like I kind of came back to it, after I digested it.
It's also kind of a big book. I mean, just
it is a big book.
Yeah.
And I think sometimes with Barry, like in a less costume version of his storytelling, and these are all like regular people, I have to kind of read it a few times to get who's who sometimes, because his faces all look very similar. So sometimes I get confused. It could be just
right.
Me,
Yeah.
No, that makes sense.
Yeah. All right, let's dive in. How far did we get on this run for that was it, right?
That was it. So you skipped over 8 because 8 was part of the flip book with Archer and Armstrong, but that's the 3 Musketeers story, and I didn't dig into that one. So we've gotten through everything I've read.
Okay, I think we're good. I think we could do So what's the official review? Newell, I'll kind of flip through some of these as you talk about your review and reflection on.
I mean, so like I said at the beginning, that first issue, I was digging it, and then Unity happened, and I was like, and like I read the Unity issue, and I was just like, whatever, and I just don't care. I didn't care that much, And so then back into issue 3, and like, I don't know, like the early parts of the book felt kind of weird because just. They did the one issue about the guy the bad guy that keeps coming back, and he fights him through time or whatever. And I thought that was a cool concept, but I thought that issue in itself, like, I don't know, it was kind of boring. I would have liked to have seen them do more with that. I don't know if they bring that character back later on, but like, okay. Yeah, I'd like to see more with that, like see him fight that guy through time and maybe like delve into the story, delve into the motivation, maybe talk about how that guy got that way. I think that would be really interesting. But that issue in particular, I was just like, okay, they're setting it up, but it wasn't, I didn't think it was a standout issue or anything. And then they did the Bloodshot thing, which was fine, but like, I don't know. I kind of wasn't the biggest Bloodshot fan when we read that one. He just felt like a Punisher knockoff to me, But then the Barry Windsor issues came up, and I was like, hell yeah, this is what I want. That was a great way to cap off the parts that I read. So it ended on a strong note.
Okay, that's good. So it won you over on a strong note. Yes.
Yeah.
All right. So that was Eternal Warrior. How does this rank for you, Jason, in your rank of like favorite Valiant books. Was this high on the list, or was this a little lower?
Yeah, it's higher than say Shadow Man or a couple of other titles, but again, going back to the Highlander likeness, and then at that time, Highlander was still a thing on TV. That it is really digging those vibes, and then of course he becomes more like this. Eternal Warrior becomes more of this street level hero unifier because they start Secret Weapons, which is kind of like their attempt at Avengers.
Okay.
And so he's constantly going, taking on Toyo Harada. So there he's tied into Harbinger. Yeah. So whereas Solar, especially towards the end, he comes more like godlike and kind of drifts away from the masses.
Does Solar take kind of like a Dr. Manhattan kind of turn?
Yes.
Okay. Interesting.
Yeah.
Oh, Valiant ripping off Watchmen. All right.
Speaking of Solar kind of taking a turn, kind of we should maybe touch a little bit on what we're going to cover next. And I think one of the things that we did talk about was this. Let's see. It went up. There we go. We're talking about Deathmate, which was a collaboration between Valiant and Image that kind of didn't do too well. I mean, it was a thing, but I think due to the timing of it all, in fact, a lot of people blame Deathmate for the end of the 90s comic book era because they had oversold and didn't deliver.
Well, in particular, Deathmate Red. I think Bob maybe have alluded to this, that in Image, Valiant got all their books on time, whereas Image did not. And of course, Rob Liefeld back in the day was notorious for missed deadlines and that type of thing, and that's that book right there. But it had all the makings of greatness, right?
Yeah.
I mean, you're teaming up with hot characters of the 90s, whereas you might have felt like you were didn't have the story with the Image characters, but you didn't have the art for the Valiant characters. Now you mix the two together and you have instant success. I mean,
yeah, so good.
So yeah, it was great stuff.
So I don't know if it's worth reading them, but we should probably talk about it. But what we are going to read next, as a transition and a preview for you guys, is this guy right here, which I was not as familiar with, which is kind of funny. It's something that I had long gone.
This is going to be interesting because I read this run of Quantum and Woody in 97-ish, I think, is when it started. I had no idea that there were any ties to Valiant at the time. I didn't know really, and I mean, this is so Quantum and Woody is an original creation of the Acclaim era, right?
Mm.
Yeah. So and they're not involved in the Valiant of the time, at least not that I recall. But so I haven't read. Say what?
They very well. There is a couple of crossover.
Is there? Okay.
Yeah, the Armorines are in there, but
wow.
but it's not. It's very scarce. Like you could read Quantum and Woody and not feel left out by not knowing about these other people over there.
Now, the reason that I read this book back in the day is because look who writes it. It's Christopher Priest. And
interesting.
And so I knew him from both Deadpool and Black Panther.
Mm.
And I love his work. He is incredibly good at writing comedy. He knows how to write funny dialogue and funny characters and some really great situations. And this book follows suit with that. And then you have Mark Bright on the art, who is really, really great. Mark Bright worked on, did some Iron Man stuff with Bob back in the 80s. So really, really solid creative team. It's been a long time since I've read it, but I remember this being just a really fun really good superhero book that was a little bit different from, so that some of the others, because there's a lot. It's like buddy cop kind of comedy, but there's like, it deals with like topics regarding like race and stuff like that. Like we'll get into it, but like Quantum, you can't tell the mask, but he's a black dude, and his family adopts Woody. So Woody's actually adopted, and so they're brothers. And that's a thing that's like the kind of a common theme, how some of the racially charged things, like being a multiracial family and that kind of thing, like that comes up a lot. So it's a fun book.
Okay, I'm looking forward to it. I'll dive in for our next episode. And then another thing that we talked about having for our next episode is let's see, share screen.
So, Carl, you might want to make sure, because there's several Quantum and Woody series to read the right one. So you know.
That cover you were showing is the correct one, but you got to make sure you read the Priest run.
Okay, I'll read the Priest run. And then the other thing that we're talking about is this guy here. I think it's a long podcast. The reason I came across it was David Mandel shared it on his Facebook page, and then he really gave a lot of credit to Jim Shooter for a lot of his upbringing in comics. And I listened to this and I was very moved by all the storytelling that happened. He was unfortunately one of the guests that we were not able to get on the show. He was open from what he communicated to our contact, but it was around when he started getting sick and had since passed. So we thought this may be a cool way for us we might listen to this in like 2x or maybe 1.5, so we could get it done within the 2 hours, 3 hours range. But the idea is for us to listen to this and kind of reflect on what he's saying. He really does tell all on this cast. All right. So with all that said, guys, I haven't been acquiring too much stuff, but I have a little stack here. I think Jason has the biggest stack for our show and tell. So why don't we...
art that I've gotten recently, you can go watch my unboxing videos on my YouTube channel.
That's true. Definitely watch his unboxing channel, and then why don't we do that? Why don't we, Jason, you go first, and then I'm actually gonna excuse myself to the boys' room for a second, and then Newell, you could do a quick, and then I'll close off with kind of what I picked up, because I got a few Valiant things that I picked up that I haven't shown anyone yet. So Jason, you could take it from here.
Well, if you got to put him on, there you go.
All right. So the broker, who is excusing himself, thankfully with pants, was able to. He maybe he's going to show his, so no spoilers there. But Exo Manowar 14, 15, where Bart Sears is introduced to us, drawing not only the exosuit, but also doing the Turok. Carl had a contact with Randy. Come to find out, I was contacting Randy, and Randy's like, "Yeah, I don't know. I don't want to sell just a couple of pages to you, because I know this other guy who's wanting to buy the whole book." And so then I text Carl. I was like, "Hey, is that you?" And he's like, "Yeah, I'm talking to him too." So long story short, through a long series of conversations, Carl was able to talk him down, and several of us were able to add pages to our.
Who's Randy?
Randy Elliott.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, the inker. So,
okay, there we go.
So Bart, so Bart has long sold all his stuff in there. So, Randy had held on to the stuff from Exo Manowar 14, 15, Turok number 2 and 3.
Wow. Okay.
He might have had some pages. He has some pages from 1 also. So this is actually the first page that they meet each other. So Arik here finds out that the dinos are still alive. So he goes down here to this country. He's like, "Okay, who's been killing all these dinos?" And Turok walks out and he says, "It's me." And then Turok instantly recognizes him from the Lost Land, because he had never met him in person before, but he knew of him, because Turok knew worked for Mother God back then. So this is also a tale in the process of all these pages, because this is the original pencils that was behind everything.
I was getting ready to ask why that page had so much like paste on it, but I see you now.
And so he marked through it and said, don't ink it. Well, then this is the patch for it.
Cool. Nice.
So
and that's super clean. It didn't have any glue on it.
Super
that's
clean. And Jason, you're so good at like deals, hunting this guy. I missed this one when I was going through it, and then you saw that it was like very well priced with both pieces. Like you get two for the price of one. That's a score for sure. I love that.
Well, you sent it over, and you'd already, I think, marked at that point.
Marked some of them, yeah.
Yeah, the pages you wanted, and to me, I wasn't going to be able to go. Going back to what Carl was saying, Randy had a very inflated version of what these pages were worth, and so again, the broker was able to wheel and deal for us.
I think I saw a spreadsheet for these, and those were
I try to get everything organized and then order, and then I also did try to leave some stuff because I didn't want to take everything, and I think that was the best deal coming out of it all.
Yeah. What's up, Best 9642? Happy Thanksgiving to you as well. And I keep calling Carl the broker. It was not me that came up with this. This was Randy, because if you notice on the back of these pages, it says sold to Jason Richardson, Carl Choi, broker.
Nice.
I don't know where that came from. So random. Like, every page, because I dropped off Shaheen and Dinesh's pages, and then they let's see what's on the back, and then we're like out late at night in the middle of the street, and then it just says sold to Dinesh Shamshadali, broker by Carl Choi. What the heck?
Well, so random. Part of history now, Carl. You'll be forever remembered that way.
Well, and you're talking about the people, other people that got in on there. There was one guy that bought one page. It was a great page, one I was interested in too, but didn't want to do 4 pages. And so he says, I came late to the game, but I got these pages. And I'm like, oh, he lamenting that we had the inside track. Okay. So this is from issue 15. So they've tracked down where the dinos are at, and this is where they actually go into the center, the sewer rather, and they start tracking them down. And then this is the first kill of the issue.
That's a really good page. It's really good. Like, all these pages look so good in person.
Yep. And then this is the RoboCop page, because there in the printed version you can kind of tell that he's seeing stuff in his visor. And so the armor's telling him where the dinos are at, which this is the art that did that.
Oh, cool.
You picked out all the ones that had like the double art. That's cool. That's great.
And so if you remember the scene in RoboCop where he goes out behind the guy and pulls the guy through the wall, this is what he does with this guy.
So nice. Great scene. So good.
So those were the 3 I got from Randy. And harkening back to our Turok story, you remember that Mark from Legion of Comics talks about in the Acclaim era of Turok, there were multiple Turoks. There's Valset, who was the one that we knew, and there's other ones. So I found this page on Albert Moy's website for like $125, and so it had almost all of them on there.
Wow. Random. That's awesome.
And so he's talking to all the Turoks. This is, of course, the one that we all know.
Incredibly cheap for an Albert page, too.
I know. Seriously, he really didn't care about it, huh? Apparently, Jewish Dragon is giving me my official secret agent code name now.
Right?
You're the Triple X broker.
It's kind of like a John Wick type of name.
So Bart's wife messaged me and said, hey, would you be interested in this? This is the page 1 to issue 45. He ended up redrawing it. That's why it's only in pencils.
Is it twice up? It's huge.
No, it's a regular size.
It's just the face is huge. That's why it looks cool.
And
45, was that the story where he fought Master Dark, like way late in the series?
Before Master Dark is a couple issues after that, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, because Master Dark gets the ring and takes the armor and stuff. So going back to the next series we're going to be reading, this is a newer iteration of Quantum and Woody.
Cool.
Is that Top Power?
What's that?
Who's the artist on that one?
Ryan Brown.
Oh, Ryan Brown. Okay.
Yeah, so some of the hijinks that you see, this is Quantum and Woody-esque, all the various animals in the zoo.
Nice. That's fun.
So, got some Louis LaRosa, Bloodshot. Goodness.
Ooh.
Solid. That's a cool page. That's cool.
The roast is really good.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
It's got like almost a watercolor kind of quality to it.
Right.
Yep. You got Mike over here saying he likes that page as well.
These pages, Andre sends me a random text. And I don't have him saved in my phone, but I guess he got my number that time that we were texting at OAX, Carl.
We were all texting us through, yeah.
And so this random number says, I don't know if you've seen this or not. I'm like, who is this? Finally figured out who it was, but he had shown these. This guy was selling for another guy on Facebook. Guy ran into some money problems. He had some random pages, and actually they came in today. I picked them up at the. So these are Andy Smith, who
nice,
a protege of Bart, and so
I was gonna say Bart Jr.
Yeah, you can tell their styles are much the same. And much like Bart did during this time, he had smaller pages, a lot of them.
Did Bart ever explain why he did that? Why he went smaller? It's just
He said he regrets it. I'm trying to remember because I asked him that at Heroes last year, but I don't remember what he told me.
Okay.
But yeah, so this is Art fighting against. I don't know if you can't make out who this is right here.
No, who's that?
Is that Magnus?
Magnet?
No, it's the Armor. And so the Armor took on the personification of the one that made it, which would be
cool.
You remember how the Armor got destroyed? The original Shanhara.
Oh, the Canadian guy?
Yeah.
Oh wow!
Oh yeah,
yeah. So you can't really see
new Armor. Yeah.
So you really can't see it from this, but this is Paul, and but like if you see him from the front, well, you barely make it out right there. The eye patch, like Paul had.
Oh, yep. Okay.
Yeah.
Huh.
So
that's cool.
But that's part of that. And this is another page that Andy did, full page splash. He breaks out of his containment cell and smacks this dude into Kingdom Come.
What happened to this guy? Did he just quit after the 90s or is he still around?
Who, Andy?
Yeah.
No, he does his stuff. He does it on Kickstarter. He's got a series called Caldar. Forget the name of it, but it's like a Conan type character.
Cool.
Okay.
And he's up from around where in North Carolina. And so he goes to Heroes every year, but he's got this whole deal surrounding that. He's built even a D&D module with his characters in it.
Nice.
That you might. Exo Manowar 46. So this is the doors busting off. You can't really see it, tell it here, but this is him coming through, and then this dude's like, "Oh crap, we're in trouble," and then she's like, "Yeah, this is exactly what I want." The Ron Mars stories were kind of off the rocker, but I know they were fixing to relaunch it anyway, so I don't think they really care much about it. But yeah, so those are all actually got. Since I still collect comics, I actually still got the Valiant Voice number 13. So this is one of the last two I needed to collect have my set.
Nice.
The latter ones are kind of hard to come by, but these were put into comic shops. You see, you can get them for 25 cents.
I remember those, dude. It's so crazy.
And you could you fold them out like a newspaper, so it shows you what's coming out. And
freaking nostalgia, dude.
Is that on newsprint?
What's that?
That's cool. Is that on newsprint?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. So you just read what's going on. There's And so occasionally, since I like to find where all my stuff, art's been used, you'll find stuff. You'll go, oh, there it was. It was used there. Carl, don't you have this page right here where Ark's sitting on the throne? I thought you bought that page.
Which one?
In Unity.
Oh, I do have that page.
Where he's sitting on the throne right there?
Yes, I do. I do. It's sitting somewhere, but I've never scanned it, actually. Thanks for reminding me. You have better memory of what I have than me.
But yeah, so I actually found the last one of these I need. It's on the way to me now to complete my set.
I remember those, dude. It's so crazy how you collect those. That's awesome.
I don't remember those.
That was before your time, right, Newell? I think so.
Well, I was collecting comics probably around that time, but I don't remember those specifically.
But yeah, so that's all the Valiant art that I've been getting.
Very nice.
Congrats, man. That's a good amount. That's a nice little stack. Newell, let's see your highlights.
I don't have anything.
So for Newell, it's just go to your channel, right?
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, it's been a few weeks since I got anything. I definitely don't have any new Valiant art. The most recent thing I did, I had that one Shadow Man page that I got back in like May. I got Bob Hall to sign it for me at Baltimore. I was originally going to try to get him to sign it at Heroes, and then I got sidetracked and forgot. He was at Baltimore this year, so I got him to sign it for me. So that was cool.
All right.
What's the name of your channel again? No.
Stingray's Art Cove. All one word.
Stingray's Art Cove, all one word. So I'll share my 3 pages that I picked up. I guess I brokered to myself because he didn't write anything on the back. This is from Turok 1, and so I'm a fan of Turok 1. It was a great setup for Bart, and I know he had mentioned himself he spent a lot of time on it. Let me take this out because the glare is kind of not showing up. There you go. So now this is basically pretty much the intro. I think it was page 6, so it was very early on. And I think Randy actually marked it. Oh, he did mark it up here. He said first sold by Randy Elliott at New York Comic Con. That's it. No Carl. But yep, this is it. Super cool. It's basically him kind of just landing back from Unity with those little like bubbly things, right? And then he's checking out the grounds, and then he's basically getting ready to move forward. I think because I've always been more of like a Turok guy when it comes to Bart, I kind of skipped over all the. I didn't claim any of the EXO pages, right, Jason? I think I claimed one, but like I couldn't get the price down. He wanted a lot for it.
Yeah, I remember that.
Yeah, that was.
You said you were surprised that I didn't get the Turok pages, and that's kind of how I felt about the Turok side of things. Was that they were a little too pricey? Yeah, so those are the solar bubbles that he did so that people would live. And of course, they fell out in different various times after Unity.
Mm-hmm. And then this next one is actually probably my favorite of all the acquisitions. I think you probably know which one I'm talking about. It's actually the splash from Turok number 2. And it's basically, if you look...
All the dinosaurs, yeah.
All the dinosaurs, and then he's aiming up kind of way. It's almost like a video game, right?
That's cool.
Yeah, so lots of details. Randy said this one probably took them collectively like a week to do.
Wow.
A ton of detail. So
a lot of detail. That's cool.
Yeah. So this is kind of like my big one recently as far as acquisition goes, because it really says a lot about the whole. It says it all. The whole Turok Dinosaur Hunter. Like, if there was an image that said that, this is it. That, and then the last one I think for me was the one I jumped to and was for some reason super meaningful to me. Because obviously I didn't get a ton of EXO art. There wasn't that many. And then 2, there wasn't that many that was affordable. They were kind of expensive. And then I ended up getting this one because it's the page I actually remember most from from the series when in XO 14-15, it was their kind of final goodbye. So they've had their adventure already. Very fashionable. Eric is wearing a bum sweater. That was a thing back in the day. And then they're basically saying their goodbyes. And then what I really love is like the whole blood brother thing where they
Romance.
Yeah, they bromance, they cut their hands and then they exchange bodily fluids and then became bros forever.
Well, that was one of the things I always liked about the two of them was the whole like bonding over the man out of time thing.
Yeah, that's cool. So now that we're going through our show and tell, it makes me feel like I need to go grab one of those XO Toro pages because it is kind of cool. Looking at Jason's acquisitions, they're awesome.
You got the colors to that too, don't you?
The colors to
that page you just showed.
Oh yeah, because you gave it to me. It's actually still in my conventional portfolio. I need to show. It'll be my next show and tell because I'll also show my Archer and Armstrong colors as well when we get around to that. So man, boys, we're back. The band came back together.
For now.
For now.
So we got a couple of things in the chat. Carl's collection, PG-13 Carl is there. Wishing everybody well wishes.
You'll have to go back and watch later, Carl. We're almost done.
Oh, yeah. Happy Thanksgiving, Carl.
You can catch it on the rewind. Jewish Dragons also is asking about the art from certain Valiant titles more in demand, expensive than other titles. Like, are the Gold Key characters more expensive than the Valiant or originated ones? I don't think that the Gold Key moniker, like Turok, Magnus, Solar, I don't feel like those carry more value because of that Gold Key deal. There are some more coveted, if you will, characters than others. Like I rarely see a Magnus page come to market. A Magnus Fighter, those are pretty hard to come by. Solar pages come up pretty often. So just depending on the artist or the storyline.
I was going to say, like, those Bart pages are high demand, right? There's a lot of people trying to get those. And I think part of that is just because, like with Turok, Bart kind of defined his look, right? At least for that era. But then he only did, a few issues of those. He did a couple issues of XO, and then he did a couple later on, so like it's really easily recognizable. He kind of really defined the way those characters look, and he just didn't do a whole lot of it. So I think those are definitely in higher demand than some of the others.
Yeah, I guess if you think about Bart and his career, what would you say is the top three things he's known for, like definitively as an artist?
Valiant.
Yeah, I think Turok is number one probably.
Yeah, but then like the Brutes and Babes stuff, right?
Yeah, that's true. Brutes and Babes.
Yeah.
I also think of Justice League, that cover that has all the guys on that, and then Eclipso would be like a fifth and sixth.
I mean, you don't hear it talked about as much, but like the cross-gen stuff that he did too.
True, that's true. I didn't read any of that stuff. I think it was after my time. I had kind of taken.
I read some of it, and the stuff that he did was great, but again, he didn't do a whole lot of it.
Yeah.
But then you've got like the Barry Windsor stuff too, right? That stuff is usually in pretty high demand when it comes up.
Yeah. Well, you would think unless a lot of it come out at the same time, which is what happened on this last auction. And then I got nailed, but that was my fault. I think I should have just spread things out a little bit more. But Jewish Dragons, I think that Newell named all of it. I think what else would be high demand? I mean, there's some like cool bobbling covers, like XO1. I think that one is probably, if it ever comes on market, we'll get some serious traction.
XO2.
Yeah, XO2. Oh, that's my dream. That's my favorite cover of all time. Yeah, I don't have that much XO stuff, but that cover is like on my list. And then what else? Anything else? The Frank Miller covers, the Walt Simonson covers, if they ever come up, those would be freaking pretty crazy. But yeah, I think Magnus #1 came up, the old one, or the older Gold Key one, right?
Yeah,
it sold for serious money, right? Was it 100K maybe? It was a lot, 150K, something like that.
Yeah, it's pretty significant. And it was one of those that it didn't look like, because it had sold like a few years prior to that, and didn't look like it was going to even meet that. It was one of those pages that just took off when it hit. live bidding. So.
All right. So, that wraps our show, guys. Thanks for checking in. Thanks, Carl, for checking out the rewind in advance. And until next time, we'll see you guys at the next Valiant TLDR.